Hey, what's up, pumpers? Jerome here with the TBC Gold Making Guide. These are going to be some of my favorite tips for making really low effort gold while you're doing other things and maybe not paying full attention to the game. Personally, I've never been a huge fan of active gold farming where you go out and farm for maybe a couple hours and make a certain amount of gold. Always liked the more passive income, making gold while I'm doing other things. And all of these methods combined are the actual way that I pay for all my raid consumables, the way that I paid for my primal moon cloth on my druid, working on my priest as well. It's hard to make gold on healers. If you do like this video, do not forget to subscribe and throw the video a like as well. Gonna keep coming with more TBC gold making content and TBC content in general, so stay tuned. One of the all-time classic flips on the auction house is to do first aid flips. So basically you just buy cheap cloth and then you flip it into heavy bandages and vendor the bandages. And this will almost always turn a profit on most populated servers because there's just a constant influx of cheap cloth coming in and people just don't really know about this method. So pretty much always profitable or close to profitable. You can actually do it with any of the higher level cloths, starting with silk. Mage weave is not really consistently profitable, but viable as well. Rune cloth and nether weave, which is in my opinion the best one to do this with. So just a quick rundown. If you take 2 of any cloth and you make a heavy bandage, you can vendor these, and most of the prices are profitable. So silk cloth, 2 silk, if you buy them under 2 silver each, is profitable as a vendor for 4 silver. Meanwhile, Mage Wave, 3 silver each. They vendor for 6. You're not going to really find Mage Weave at this price on any populated server, but still worth checking. Meanwhile, Rune Cloth, anything under 5 silver each is profitable, as you can vendor them for 10 silver when you combine into 2. And Nether Weave, anything under 15 silver is profitable. And I find that Nether Weave has almost always got several stacks under 15. And there are times when you'll see a couple hundred nether wave for 12 silver or less, and that is just pure profit because when you combine 2 nether wave at 12 silver each, you're going to be making 6 silver profit because that's going to be 24 silver. So just any sort of cloth flip is really good. Obviously, linen and wool are not super profitable usually because they're super hard to farm. And yeah, I really like doing the cloth flip. It's one of my very favorite. One thing I like to note about this is that you often have to put a bait cloth to kind of drive the prices down. Let's say rune cloth. The lowest rune cloth is maybe 550. You can actually put a bait cloth at 450 or 350, and often people will automatically post below your price using the Trade Skill Master or any sort of auction add-on. So there's a lot of profit to be made by sort of putting these bait items. For example, putting a single nether wave at like 11 silver or 12 silver will often add dozens of stacks before anyone buys out your cloth. So you can actually set up the market yourself and make a bunch of easy silver. Let's say you need maybe to make 30-40 gold in the next couple hours before a raid and you just don't want to go out and farm. It's one of the best ways to make a little bit of easy gold. Next up, we have my absolute favorite TBC flip so far, the Jaguar Pearl flip. So if you are in the know on this method, you may be a little annoyed that I'm about to tell people about it. It's made me a ton of gold, probably 15,000-20,000 gold so far. It is paying for a lot of my supplies, paid for my my robes, everything that I have basically. This is a really great flip, and it takes advantage of the fact that there are these Jaguar clams that are consistently dropping in dungeons like slave pens, for example. The Jaguar clams will drop, and then inside, there's a chance to have a Jaguar Pearl in them, using a couple of different jewel crafting recipes. Worth noting that the Jaguar Pearl can turn into a purified Jaguar Pearl, which is a gem. It can go in a red or blue slot, and it has 7 healing, 3 spirit, 3 spell damage, which is nothing too special. But what's really worth noting about this item is that it vendors for 1 gold. And the Jaguar Pearls consistently are selling on the auction house on Fairlina, on many of the high population servers, for anywhere between 20 to 70 silver every single day. And what people don't know is that if you're a jewel crafter, you can take a Jaguar Pearl and a purified Draenic water, which you can obtain for about 12 silver from any innkeeper. And this will just turn into a 1 gold item. So anytime I see a Jaguar Pearl for under about 85 silver, I know I'm going to be getting pure profit. And that means if you can get a couple hundred of these every day, you're easily making hundreds of gold every single day. And the amount of effort is really low. because you can just have a jewel crafting ult just doing these constantly, and they are created really quickly. It's not that much effort. You just vendor them back and then go back to the auction house, buy more. One thing to note about this method is that you can actually buy the purified draining water from the auction house, which is generally cheaper. I can get it for about 9 silver a pop on our server, which is significantly cheaper than you get it at any inn. Also, if you are revered with a faction in TBC, you can get this water for significantly cheaper, I believe 20% cheaper. That's definitely a must-have. I like to use the Aldor Inn. This is where I like to buy my water because I just teleport in, buy it, and then I go back through a portal and back to making more gold. Next up, a more general tip. This is the convenience-based tip. Basically anything that will save people time, will save people effort, is worth doing and very profitable usually. A great example of this would be to look at anything that is going to inconvenience people. A good example would be a bolt of netherweave cloth. If you've done tailoring before, you probably realize how long it takes to make all these bolts. Same with bolt of rune cloth. People are just not always willing to sit there and will just buy out your bolts so you can make a good profit there. I do this pretty consistently, always profitable every single time. The only problem is if you're looking to make fast gold, it could take a little bit of time to turn these items over. You might notice on our server, for example, the Greater Rune of Warding is a really good option for convenience-based profit. Any sort of craft can be good for convenience-based profit, but the Greater Rune of Warding, the Corium Bar, about 2 gold, and the Greater Rune of Warding sells for 7 gold. Absolute must-have for any sort of PvP, serious PvP, pre-mades, etc., or any sort of serious raid. Tanks are obviously going to need these. Pretty much any sort of crafting can do really well with this. Any sort of thing where you have you're combining items and trying to create something. People are usually willing to pay for convenience. They're willing to pay a little extra. Something like wizard oils, you can make profit. There's any sort of convenience-based item where people are just going to quickly buy an item. They're not really thinking too much about how much it costs. And yeah, you can actually help the market as well, because this is good. People want to save time. And I remember when I was doing my tailoring and a bunch of alts, I did buy the bolts from other people. Like, it just saves time. It's if they're not too overly priced, it's not it doesn't really harm anybody. So really good method. If you can find a niche where not a lot of people are doing convenience-based methods, this is always going to be super profitable. My final tip would be to get an auction house add-on and understand how it works completely, because this will absolutely just allow you to just create passive income all the time. A good example would be understanding Trade Skill Master, which is my preferred auction house add-on, and understanding how the vendor search add-on works. This is really important. Trade Skill Master has a vendor search option, and if you understand how it works and you do a scan, you can basically buy out any item that is below vendor price. And the scan, you basically can do this every 10, 15, 20 minutes and consistently make 5 to 10 gold every single time. Really easy gold. This is the kind of thing that if you just did it, every hour or so, you could easily make 50 gold a day just doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, having a routine is really important. Understanding all the basics, all the little tricks people do to make gold, understanding things like bait items and things like, you could even, for example, buy out an item and raise the price or drive a price down. You can do little things to make additional profit. And yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's absolutely it's like doing play stocks or something. It's just really addicting and fun and very different from the typical WoW gameplay. That's all I have for today. If you like this video, maybe share one of your favorite gold making tips. I will absolutely be making more of these videos. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Of course, hit the notification bell, as everyone will always tell you. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Hopefully going to make a lot more videos in the near future. Thank you very much. Have a great day.